That's been talked about, well, really since the last one ended, and now it's here, Election Day 2024.
So, of course, we have the presidential race, but there are some key state and local races and issues we'll be following for you all night long as well. Jeff Smith and Kaylee Marentet are live for us right now at a polling location in North Toledo to kick things off.
How's it going, guys?
Guys, good. Guys, great, fantastic, good to see you. We are here at the Toledo Public Schools Board of Education building, polling location 2A for Toledo voters, and they've had about a 14%, I think it was 14.3% turnout just here alone today. One interesting thing before I get to my co-anchor, Kaylee, they were saying a lot of people have come in today asking about paper ballots for two reasons. And I asked, well, kind of school me on this, because they've got access to, obviously, the easy computers behind us. However, they said some may have had an address change, but secondly, they don't trust it. They said they want to make sure they get it down on pen and paper because this is so important today.
Definitely. A lot of people coming out here to have their voices heard again. We want to remind you, if you are still going to head out to the polls today, and this is the first time that you've voted since 2020 and you're voting in Ohio, you need to bring a valid ID, whether that's a military license, state license, driver's license. That is going to be necessary for you to be able to come in and cast your vote. You still have a few more hours until polls close here in Ohio, but we want to give you a glimpse of what you're going to expect for coming up at 5 and 6. We are going to be here at this polling location bringing you all the team coverage from Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan.
Absolutely. Coming up in our next half hour, in fact, we've got Dr. Sam Nelson from the University of Toledo. He will kind of stand in and talk to us about some of the bigger ballot issues which we see across not only our area but also the state. Issue one being the redistricting issue that all of the state of Ohio is voting on today, talking about the language in that ballot initiative as well as some of the ballot drop-off you might see, because people come into the voting booth, they start scrolling through it and they're like, my goodness, there's a lot to done their homework coming into today.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you still want to do your homework, check into WTOL.com. We have a full election guide there. If you are still heading out to the polls, for now we're going to send it back to you guys, Dan and Amanda.
All right, thank you. Lines at the polls have been pretty steady in most places since they opened very early this morning.
Silver Barker is live in the newsroom now for us. Silver, you've been keeping tabs on how voting's been going so far and spoke to several people who made it out to cast their vote today.
That is right. I went to polling places in Wood County and Lucas County. The lines at both places were moving along at a reasonable pace. As far as the late morning to afternoon, many voters tell me they did not have to wait too long. Some voters say it seems that this was a quicker experience compared to other people they know who voted early but waited in line 4 hours. It's also been a calm process for poll workers who tell us they've had no issues. A poll worker for Lucas County says although the lines aren't bad, the length of the ballot was a bit surprising to him.
Not many people around right now, but there's points where it gets packed and we've had people hitting the door and we have to really hustle to get it through. But I think a big part of that is this is a tremendous ballot this go around. It is long. I am typically done in 1 minute or less when it comes to voting, that is. And it's, it took me a while to go through this ballot.
Chris Sandys also says with the amount of training and security they have, it's been a smooth process and no troubles. Wood County Board of Elections Director Terry Burton says everything is going as planned so far as well for them. Reporting in the newsroom, Silver Barker, WTOL 11.
Silver, thank you. And as a reminder, Ohio voters have until 7:30 tonight to cast their ballots. If it's busy later tonight, as long as you're in line by 7:30 p.m., you will be allowed to vote. Polls in Michigan close at 8 p.m. Much like Ohio, as long as you're in the line by 8 p.m., you will be able to vote. Now, if you're voting by absentee ballot in Ohio, but you didn't get it in the mail in time, you can still make it count today.
You have until polls close at 7:30 tonight to turn it in a drop box at your county board of elections. And here's how the early in-person voting numbers turned out in Lucas County. Ohio's voting dashboard says so far 83% of ballots requested have been filled out and returned.
In all, more than 50,000 ballots have been cast for early voting. More than 35,000 absentee ballots were requested. Almost 30,000 returned so far.
Many Wood County voters have also voted early. The latest numbers show 85% of voters have returned their ballots, with more than 20,000 in-person early votes being cast leading up to Election Day. More than 11,000 absentee ballots were requested, and as of early this afternoon, more than 9,000 have been returned.
Across the country, there are a lot of eyes on Ohio and its race for U.S. Senate. Incumbent Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown and his challenger Republican Bernie Moreno hit the campaign trail hard yesterday. Brown joined former President Bill Clinton in Cleveland. Moreno made campaign stops in southern and central Ohio.
Another big race is Ohio's 9th congressional race between incumbent Marcy Kaptur and current state representative Derek Merrin. Kaptur has represented the district since 1983 and is the longest serving woman in Congress. Meantime, Merrin is in his 4th term as a state rep. Before that, he served as the mayor of Waterville. Melissa Andrews is covering the Lucas County Democratic Party for us tonight.
She joins us live at UAW Local 12, where Democrats will await the results together. Melissa?
Hey guys, we're actually the only ones inside Local 12 right now, but that's because Democrats are using all of these last hours, all of these last minutes to campaign. I talked with the chair of the Lucas County Democratic Party yesterday, and she told me that their door-to-door campaign really started in April. That was before Kamala Harris was even on the ballot. They've been sending out their mailers. They want to make sure that everyone in Lucas County gets the Democratic list of endorsed candidates for the party, so they've been doing that. They said that they've really been able to galvanize lots of volunteers in the last few weekends leading up to this election, and those volunteers are going to people's doors and having conversations. I said to her, well, a lot of people out there feel that there's misinformation and disinformation. How are you having those kinds of conversations? And she told me that's really what it's all about. She said that they've had multiple conversations with the same people. So people who may not have thought about voting Democrat in this election, they go back to their homes. They have more and more conversations until they feel that they are ready to cast a vote for the Democratic candidate. I also talked to Anita Lopez, who is running for commissioner yesterday as well. She said that she's going to be out at polling locations until they close. So that is really the time we're going to start to see the party chiefs, as you would call them, head to Local 12. Here's what I heard from the Democratic Party chair.
And that's why it's even so much more valuable to have that in-person conversation. You have a real person who you can talk to. A lot of the candidates locally are doing this door knocking themselves. So that really helps humanize these elected officials and candidates. It brings the conversation to your door, and that is so valuable to really ask questions and get answers.
Now, Lucas County is a Democrat stronghold. There are only several seats that are opposed right now. The rest are unopposed, and Lucas County tends to go for Democrats. So later tonight, when they all get here after the polls close, we'll see Marcy Kaptur come here. I'm told that Anita Lopez will be heading to Latinos United, but of course we will see Pete Gherkin here and a lot of the other candidates who are unopposed, like the auditor and some council men and women from the Democratic Party. This party is probably going to get started here around 8 o'clock or so. For now, reporting live at Local 12, Melissa Andrews, WTOL 11.
Melissa, thank you so much. Now, many local Republicans are gathering tonight to watch the results come in as well.
Yeah, and that's where Megan Hartnett will be all night long for us, live at the watch party in Holland. Good afternoon, Megan.
Hi, Dan, Amanda. We are here. Preparations are underway. They're getting ready. Things are really going to start kicking off around 8 o'clock, though. Some of the candidates who are going to be here include Derek Merrin, who's running for Ohio's 9th Congressional District, along with John Rosick and Tom Winooski. But I'm currently joined with Barbara Orange, who's the chairperson for the Lucas County Republican Party. So first, just tell me, what are your expectations going into tonight?
Well, we are really excited about the candidates we have running today, and we're just really hopeful that we'll have great success. I just want to encourage everyone to get out and vote today. It's important that we have everyone vote. Everyone should exercise their right and vote.
Perfect. Is there any other final message or anything that you're wanting to see tonight?
Well, we just want to see victories. We'd like to see change in the county commissioners to get a balance of power locally, and then to be able to have Donald Trump win and send Bernie Moreno and Derek Merrin to support him.
Thank you so much. And again, we'll be here all night keeping you updated, and things are really going to get starting to kick off around 8. That's when a lot of the candidates will start getting here, and we'll be sure to keep you updated throughout the night. Reporting in Holland, Megan Hartnett, WTOL 11.
Megan, thank you. Quite a night ahead. This
Yeah.
is just the beginning of our election coverage coming your way tonight. Keep in mind we have an entire election guide on our website with all the issues and candidates you'll see in your ballot. Just go to WTOL.com. Don't forget, join us for live coverage on our WTOL 11 Plus app. It's a free download on your Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock.